Alright boys, what is good? So today I'm back with another weekly recap. It has been a minute. If you've been here for a while, you know I used to upload weekly recaps every single week because, I mean, this channel is kind of just for documentation. But yeah, I haven't done one in a minute, so we're back. I also quickly wanted to say, last video I said 300 likes and I'd start streaming again. And yeah, people clearly want to see it. So hopefully this week I'll be able to stream. I likely only stream if I see a setup that's about to tap or if I'm in a trade or whatever, because it's going to be pretty boring if I'm just waiting for a setup, especially on the 30-minute charts. It's just going to take a while. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Quite excited to return, to be honest. It's gonna be quite nice. So tune into them if you get a chance. So yeah, I have quite a few trades to talk about this week. There were quite a lot of opportunities. I missed a lot of them, I won't lie, but I'm gonna go through all the trades that happened. Honestly, it was a crazy week. I didn't capitalize on how insane of a week it was. I'm only up about 1%, but I'm risking 0.5%, so like 2 up because I did make some mistakes once again. But it was a profitable week, and that's a dub. So to start off, we have this trade on CHFJPY, if you don't know. And this was absolutely insane. This would have been trade of the week, but I'll tell you why I didn't take it. Also, I'll explain why I marked up the zone like this, and I'll explain why all these trades are valid, because I know a lot of people aren't fully familiar with liquidity supply and demand, but it's been working so well, bro. Like, it's actually crazy. This is already evolving my trading like an insane amount compared to normal supply and demand. But yeah, this trade, basically, it tapped late Friday, like as in the last candle on Friday. Now, if you don't know, on the 30-minute, I take trades literally just whenever one appears. There's not like a specific time period that it works better in. Obviously higher volume, but late Friday is one time that I don't take trades, especially when the candle that taps my zone is the last candle of the day. As you can see, this is Friday and this is Sunday. So quite unfortunate, but it gave a really nice entry. Stopped just below the top candle that tapped, and you could have easily aimed for these lows. If you wanted to aim for these lows, then still an insane 1 to 8 trade. Obviously, this is assuming you get like no spread or whatever. So give it a bit of leeway, say around here, 1 to 6, and that's assuming your spread is absolutely atrocious. But yeah, 1 to 10, man, honestly, they get hit with this strategy. 1 to 10 is actually like a thing that happened with this strategy, which I find insane. Obviously, this went for like a, I say obviously, it's not obvious, but this went for like a 1 to 22, but I cap out at 1 to 10 because you're just getting a bit greedy at that point. But yeah, so what made the setup valid? We had the zone right here. This is marked up by the body and upper wick. So on a supply example, if the bullish candle goes below the next candle, which will obviously be a bearish candle, then you draw it up just by the body. I'll put a quick graphic up on the screen of how to draw these accuracy zones, as we call them. Basically, I recommend you do some testing. They're just so much more accurate. As you can see with this trade, if we marked it up like normal, this would have been invalid because it closed inside the zone. So mark it up like this. As you can see, we get an instant rejection from it. That's just what happens with these zones, especially when you mix them with the liquidity, which is right here. You can see this was a demand zone that clearly faked some people out. People would have their stops above here anyway because it's a minor swing. And just to give even more confirmation, we got an insane rejection from it. People would be getting it around this area and then came straight back up, stopped them out, even gave a re-entry, just gathering stop losses and then taking them so that our zone can win. And yeah, bro, you can see it just explodes straight away. Obviously a little bit of consolidation before the continuation. Absolutely beautiful, man. Absolutely gorgeous. This is just a textbook trade. Only thing that was kind of against us on this was this double bottom right here. However, just market structure right here, we have this massive bearish momentum. Obviously this is definitely a news candle, but we're creating lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, etc. And came up to our zone, absolutely dropped, like so crazy. But yeah, that was the first trade of the week. Unfortunately I missed it, but I thought I should show that because it was beautiful. Now this one I actually did take with a very low risk. I accidentally took over low risk because if you watch my last video, then you know I'm on a new platform for trading, and yeah, I just messed up the risk. I'm not too mad about it, but it's cool. I only took it for the 1 to 3 anyway, but you could have easily taken this for a, well, pretty much 1 to 5. Actually, this is where my entry was, my bad. Let me fix that. This is where the proper entry would be. So about a 1 to 4 realistically down to this demand. Now it didn't go down to this low, so if you're targeting that with no TP1, then you actually would have lost. But obviously you're likely going to have TP1 at either the demand or the 1 to 3. So secured the lightest profits ever on that trade, like as in basically nothing. I actually have a video of me being in the trade after I realized that I risked really low, and I was like, damn. But yeah, this is just another nice trade. Now, like I said, we draw up the zones normally if this candle doesn't go below this candle. So full candle, mark it up. The liquidity is here. However, it didn't break the low, so this would be invalid if it just came straight up from here. But we created this liquidity here as well, which is actually the valid liquidity here, and we broke this low, which even though it's a minor swing, it's valid. And yeah, this is just another nice trade that went pretty well. Now, what really shined this week was EU, honestly, went crazy. Now, if you saw my live trading video from Tuesday, then you will have seen me take this trade live. 1.5. Honestly, I fucked up. I don't know why I exited where I did. That was definitely my fault. I should have stuck through that whole thing. I'll explain why I did though, because basically this supply zone right here, a liquidity supply zone, we had this, well, yeah, it's just a nice swing to count as liquidity, and this rejection right here was beautiful. I took this for like a 1 to 2 basically. Tough, bro. This easily went for the 1 to 5. Now this isn't just a random TP that I was just like, whatever. I'll quickly show a screenshot of from the video. You can see this is literally where I had my TP at, and it perfectly reversed from this normal supply zone because it is quite a strong zone, as it's just right at the top of this move. But yeah, man, after that video, I actually did take a chance on this setup. I did take an L, 0.5% risk, so I was only a tiny bit up on the day after that, which is part of the reason why I'm not up as much as I should be on the week. But yeah, that's my fault. Take full responsibility for that, of course. But yeah, this setup was beautiful, bro. Like, once again, accuracy zone. It wouldn't have really mattered too much because it never tapped before. The liquidity would still be valid, and we never closed inside the zone. But it's still important to draw up the accuracy zones with this strategy. Honestly, the win rate's so much better. This was just a good point for us to reverse from. As you can see, we had this beautiful double bottom right here, just absolutely amazing. And on top of that, we matched these lows very nicely. So this is like a very good point that we could go bullish from. And yeah, that's all I got to say really. This is just a perfect point for us to go bullish. So going back into the 30-minute entry was a bit terrible. This is on EURUSD, and normal entry would have been about 10 pips. I got in a little bit before, but yeah, this went for a beautiful 1 to 5, man. That's 45 pips on EU if you call that whole move. Completely my fault for closing, but what are you going to do about it? It's in the past, and I have learned from it. Now this is like, what, 2 days later? If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I took this trade, and this time I didn't close early, so it's a win. But yeah, this setup, we draw the supply zone normally. Obviously there's no candle for it to have gone below, and had the liquidity right here, nice little swing, as well as a nice supply zone right here to fake up the traders out. And we came into the zone, flipped. Obviously flip entry could have been valid on this trade. However, if you really want to be safe, then entering on the first bearish close on a supply example, of course, is probably the safest way to go. And that is where I got my entry. Didn't enter early on. However, somebody I know actually managed to get the 5-minute entry on this, which was, bro, so insane. Honestly, if I was here for it, I probably would have entered like a nice 0.15% on this, on the 5-minute entry, because I'd never put my full entry on the 5-minute because, hey, I haven't done enough testing for it. Bit risky, but this would have been an absolutely insane trade, 1 to 17 as opposed to the 1 to 4 that I caught. But yeah, still can't complain. I actually entered 2 positions on this. One was larger, one was smaller. Once again, I was just getting used to the platform, and I accidentally under risked on one of them, but totaled 0.5% overall basically. And I targeted my slightly larger position at the normal 1 to 3 because there's kind of empty space back here until you get further back, which I'll show in a second. And the smaller position, I targeted the full 1 to 4, which was due to this 4-hour demand right here. This is a liquidity zone. Once again, only mark it by the body, don't mark up the top wick, because we went above this candle right here, and we got a very nice rejection from it straight away. It was actually a really nice TP. As you can see here, we had the liquidity here, so I expected a nice rejection from this zone, to be honest, which we did get straight away. Now I don't know about trading on the 4-hour, but you can expect a large reaction from that zone. So honestly, such a perfect TP for my smaller position, and yeah, can't complain about that. But yeah, this is a beautiful trade. I actually woke up to TP being hit on this. This is just such a beautiful drop. That's just the momentum that the strategy comes with. So beautiful. I love it. And finally, we have a trade on GJ that I took. Now, if you took the patient entry, then you wouldn't have even taken this, and you wouldn't have taken a loss. However, I tried a flip entry on this. Let me go into replay just so you can see my thought process. So this zone right here, as you can see, demand zone faked out. It's also a minor swing to stop some people out, of course, and we got some very nice rejections from it, which was why I ended. So my entry was about here, stop loss just above the wick. Probably would have aimed just for what, this demand zone maybe, for a 1 to 3, and unfortunately the next candle went straight through. And like I said, wouldn't have lost on this if you just took the patient entry because it never actually went bearish. So potentially a mistake of a trade. However, I only risked 0.25% on the flip entry, so not too big of a loss. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro, it was a W week. I wish I played it better because honestly the potential for this week was crazy. If you add up everything that happened, oh yeah, there's also this CJ trade that happened, you feel me? Liquidity right here, broke the high after. Quite a nice trade to be fair. But I don't think there was a specific point that we reversed from to make me want to take a demand there, so not going to talk about it. But yeah, 1 to 10 plus 1 to 4 plus 1 to 5, and then minus what, the 2 losses. That's like 20%, but obviously got to take into account human error, so half that, and still that would be an insane week. Unfortunately, my human error is too much right now, and that's what I need to work on, because honestly this strategy it's for me. This strategy is crazy. I have no intentions of going anywhere but just sticking with this, because bro, you've watched the video, you know what this week did. Like, I was never seeing this with normal supply and demand, man. I just wasn't. This is a real game changer. Yeah, I need to make sure my psychology's straight. I need to make sure I'm taking the right trades. I need to make sure I'm risking correctly. And yeah, it is now the end of March, so April, hey, let's see if we can have a profitable month. My March was technically profitable. There was some maintenance where I couldn't trade for a while, but technically it was profitable, so that's a dub. Yeah, it really wasn't anything too crazy because the maintenance that was happening with my prop firm, but we back now. The prop firm's back. If you do want to get a challenge, code is on screen. I actually don't know what the code is anymore because it might have changed, and you should be able to get 10% off. But yeah, cheers to a profitable April, everybody. Let's get some motherfucking money, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Peace.